Senate Committee Room, B 306. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia? Senate Committee Room, B 306. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, B306. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia? Senate Committee Room, B306. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, B 306. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia? Senate Committee Room, B 306. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, B 306. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia? Senate Committee Room, B 306. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, B 306. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia? Senate Committee Room, B 306. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Senate Committee Room, B306. Did you know live Senate video is now available at youtube.com/@Senate of Virginia? Senate Committee Room, B306. This is the Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. It's good to see community members here tonight. Can we take a roll, please?
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. As chairman of State Privileges, Senate Privileges and Elections Committee, we are responsible for providing oversight of the governor's appointments to our Commonwealth's most important prestigious institutions to ensure those bodies align with our values at tonight's hearing. That is what we are doing, fulfilling that duty. We have SJR number 6001, conforming appointments by the governor of certain persons communicated to the General Assembly May 30th, 2025. Any comments from the committee? Is there a motion for the committee?
Move to
Senator Sturdivant.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In preparing for today's committee hearing, I came across a section of the Virginia Code 2.2-107 that says there shall be a joint subcommittee of the House and Senate Privileges and Elections Committees consisting of 5 members of the House Committee and 3 members of the Senate Committee that are appointed to review the resumes and statements of economic interests of all gubernatorial appointees. And so my question is, in advance of our meeting today, to consider the governor's appointees, has that subcommittee, joint subcommittee, been constituted, and has it met?
Thank you for your question, Senator Sturdivant. As per to chairman of this committee and with oversight of our Senate Privilege and Elections Committee, we are charged with either appointing or confirming or not confirming the gubernatorial appointments. Now, as far as your procedural questions, I asked the attorney to provide some clarification.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Yes, Senator Sturdivant, that committee, yes, is in that section. The section says what Senator Sturdivant said. I'm not aware that that committee is currently filled or active. No.
Thank you. Senator Sturdivant.
And so in light of that, Mr. Chairman, I think, we've got to follow what the law is and what the law says. And the law says that there shall be this joint subcommittee of both houses that convenes to review the resumes and statements of economic interests of gubernatorial appointees. And so I suspect the ruling on that is up to the chair at this particular moment, but I would suggest that moving forward with any substantive motion on those appointees would be out of order and improper and not in compliance with 2.2-107.
Thank you, Senator Sturdivant. Senator Eben.
Mr. Chairman, just to follow up, I don't think anyone takes issue with the economic interests of any of these people. So I think as chair, you can have us proceed, but that's just my opinion.
Thank you, Senator Eben. Senator DeSteph, you're in the queue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Further elaborating on 2.2-107 and 2.2-106, it states there shall be a joint subcommittee that does this. This isn't a may, this isn't a you can ignore this is a shall. So normally when something is in code that strict, that we kind of do it, otherwise, this is step A before we go to step B, and it looks like we've not done step A on this, Mr. Chair. So with that, I'm not sure we're properly formed or informed or both.
Are you finished with your comments? Thank you, Senator DeSteph.
For now, yes, sir.
Senator Dietz.
Mr. Chair, I just like an inquiry of Brooks. When was the last time that committee was constituted, and how many appointees are potentially have been made in violation of that provision? In other words, how many of these appointees that have been sitting for years and years are going to have to be tossed out of their seats because of this obscure language that the senators cite?
Mr. Chair, Senator Deeds, neither I nor the clerk are aware of the last time that committee met.
Thank you very much. I've moved to report the bill.
I think we have a motion. Is there a second? There's a motion that's been properly seconded. We have Senator Eben in the queue, then followed by Senator DeSteph.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to speak to the motion. I'd like to speak to the resolution and urge a no vote. The nominees, in my opinion, fail to meet the expectations and standards that we hold for these boards. And at this point in the governor's term, we've confirmed thousands of his appointees for various boards and commissions, which I think should be noted. We've rejected a handful of Youngkin appointees that we've seen as overly ideological or extreme, but I would estimate we've allowed the governor to move forward with substantially more than 99% of his choices that were brought before us. And while we generally defer to the executive, let's remember that public service for gubernatorial appointees is a privilege rather than a right. Most of our boards of visitors have been collaborative with good results and visitors achieving significant harmony, civility, consensus, regardless of their own personal beliefs. However, I believe that the individuals named on SJR 6001 are not good choices for George Mason University, the Virginia Military Institute, or the Board of the University of Virginia. It's important to those of us, the majority, that boards of visitors exercise some independent judgment and be loyal to the continued academic excellence of the institutions they serve. And if you'll indulge me, Mr. Chair, I'd like to comment in particular on some troubling incidents in the governance of GMU in particular. Starting in the spring of 2024, there's been a disturbing pattern of conduct that I believe must be called out. The previously civil climate at the university has devolved. Evidence and direct observation tell us that Mason's tradition of civility and collegiality is now more often punctuated by demeaning exchanges, hostile questioning, even rude personal taunts. They've been documented on the internet. For instance, in the past 18 months, the Board of Visitors appears to have fostered an atmosphere of hostility with regard to governance matters. During public sessions, the false threat was made that, quote, the board can fire anybody when staff members disputed a board member's statements. In this same setting, during the board's committee meetings, university staff also were accused without evidence of engaging in illegal racial quotas, of using, quote, language codes and, quote, warping inclusion efforts to actually exclude people. The president of that distinguished university, Dr. Washington, was asked how he would feel to hear, quote, get a rope and hang them all invoked as free speech. Sadly, Mr. Chairman, it appears that some of the visitors do not seem to be there for academic or even university governance purposes. They seem to be there rather to disrupt and, if they can, even to destroy. Not only must they be called out, but so does the governor for making those kinds of appointments. I believe that one of his appointments to UVA, that we had voted on a vote of 2119 to confirm previously, the governor then asked for that person to step down, and they did, and now he's replacing him with another individual that I don't believe will foster harmony at that university. But regarding GMU in particular, I believe that our most diverse institutions should be celebrated and applauded rather than torn down. And I'm sad to say that in some cases, a similar environment has existed at VMI. Regarding the nominees in general, I'm of the belief that the governor can do better, and I want to allow him that opportunity by casting a no vote and thus not advancing this slate for confirmation. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Edmond. Senator DeStefano.
And I would push a yes vote, and for the following reasons. Multiple individuals on here have been confirmed on other boards. One of them, which is super highly qualified, was even confirmed by the members sitting here, majority of the members sitting here, as a cabinet secretary. And if you look at their background, experience of the individuals, these individuals have been the utmost successful in business and everything else they've done. So I don't believe any one of these members is there to destroy, as the allegation was put forth a few minutes ago, any institution or anything at all. Their background, their experience, and everything they've ever done in life has been to build up their communities, build up their neighbors. And when an institution is having issues, that would be more of a reason to appoint some of these individuals to get it back on track where it needs to go. So I would urge a yes on this and believe that the individuals on here are ultimately qualified. And, you know, these are who we want. We want individuals from our businesses. We want individuals who are outstanding, upstanding community citizens to push forward and serve on these boards and commissions to drive the future of our boards of our universities. I mean, these are the individuals who are going to hire those who we graduate from those universities. So these are the individuals I want steering that ship. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I take exception to saying that these individuals are appointed to destroy the universities when I say the exact opposite. They're there to build our future workforce and to build our universities for the future. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator D. Staff. Senator Sturdivant.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just speaking to the motion.
You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. The individuals that I think we all recognize are going to be stricken or voted down for the purposes of this particular committee meeting, we're talking about a former Attorney General of Virginia, a former U.S. Deputy Secretary of Education, a former Federal Trade Commission chair, a former Virginia Secretary of Commerce and Trade, 2 decorated veterans, and a successful Hispanic businessman. There is nothing about any of these individuals that makes them unqualified to serve the Commonwealth of Virginia in any of these positions. These are all highly qualified appointees. And as a practical matter, this committee is divided 8-7, 8 Democrats, 7 Republicans. The vote of 8 individual members of this General Assembly is not the ultimate decision of the body as a whole. And that's really what the Constitution mandates when it comes to gubernatorial appointees. It's what is the decision of the General Assembly, not 8 state senators on one committee. So as a practical matter, these people who are all highly qualified are going to continue to lawfully serve in these gubernatorial appointments, and appropriately so. And yet we're here in mid-June, a few days before an election, to consider a handful of these nominees without any real identifiable basis, specific bases for removing these qualified individuals. And as I mentioned earlier, I think from a procedural standpoint, the fact that we are here and that there has not been a meeting of this joint subcommittee that is required by state law is a real problem for whether or not this is a properly constituted meeting. And to the point that was raised earlier about, well, what about prior appointees that have been confirmed by the General Assembly? That's the difference. Those individuals were confirmed by the General Assembly, and that is what matters. But as my colleague, Senator D. Staff, pointed out, there are steps in this process, and we have not done step A yet. And so we shouldn't be moving on to step B and this motion. And so nonetheless, it is my hope that we will support these gubernatorial nominees and to defer to the governor's judgment on these issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Sturdivant. As chairman of this board, let me remind everyone, we did go through a session where there was no subcommittee formed, yet we confirmed many, if not hundreds and hundreds of the governor's appointments. And so the work and the oversight that we have, and as chairman of this committee, is to provide accountability and oversights to our prestigious institutions to ensure that those bodies align with our values. And what we see in the political climate today, especially coming out of Washington, trying to make their way into our Commonwealth, it's our job to stand up and protect those values. And that is what we are doing today. So with the motion to confirm and properly second, please open the voting roll.
Ayes 4, noes 8.
And that bill fails to report. As always, it's a pleasure serving with you all on this committee, and that will do it. Oops, sorry about that.
Haven't been elected yet. You're still covered.
I know, I'm trying to take your pen. Sorry about that.
The Senate of Virginia, Richmond, Virginia.